Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. President Donald Trump has said that he does not want to extend the ceasefire with Iran, signaling a harder stance as negotiations remain uncertain. In an interview, Trump claimed the United States holds a strong negotiating position and said Washington would secure what he described as a great deal. He warned that if an agreement is not reached soon, the U.S. could resume military action, adding that the military is prepared for immediate operations. Separately, in a social media posted, Trump accused Iran of violating the ceasefire numerous times, but did not provide further details. The United States expressed confidence that peace talks with Iran would go ahead in Pakistan, and a senior Iranian official said Tehran was considering joining, but significant hurdles and uncertainty remained as the end of a ceasefire approached. US President Donald Trump wants an agreement that would prevent further oil price rises and stock market shocks, but has insisted Iran cannot have the means to develop a nuclear weapon. The Iranian official said Tehran was positively reviewing its participation in talks, despite earlier ruling them out, but stressed no decision had been made. A Pakistani source involved in the discussions said there was momentum for talks to recommence on Wednesday, and Trump could attend in person or virtually if a deal were to be signed. Meanwhile, there are reports that a planned visit by US Vice President Vance to Islamabad has been put on hold as Iran delays its decision on joining the next round of peace talks. The uncertainty comes as the ceasefire between Washington and Tehran approaches its expiry, with no clear signal yet from Iran on participation. US officials say the diplomatic process is effectively paused until Tehran responds. However, Iran has also taken a firm stance, rejecting negotiations under pressure. Senior leaders warned that threats and blockades could push Tehran to explore new battlefield options. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi made it clear that Tehran will not engage in negotiations under the shadow of threats. He stressed that any dialogue with the United States must be conducted on the basis of equality and mutual respect, adding that pressure tactics are major obstacles to meaningful negotiations. Separately, Iranian Speaker Mohammad Bakr Ghalibaf echoed the same stance, saying Iran would not accept talks conducted under threats and accused US President Donald Trump of trying to turn negotiations into a surrender table. He also accused Trump of violating the agreement by imposing a blockade, claiming the move undermines trust and damages diplomatic efforts. Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar has urged the United States and Iran to extend the ceasefire and prioritize dialogue. He made the appeal during a meeting with US Chargé d'Affaires Natalie Baker. Dar reiterated Pakistan's position that diplomacy remains the only viable path to lasting regional peace and stability. He also stressed the need for continued engagement between Washington and Tehran. Baker, in response, conveyed US appreciation for Pakistan's role in facilitating dialogue and promoting de-escalation in the region. Meanwhile, Federal Minister for Information and Broadcasting Attaullah Tarar has said that Pakistan is still awaiting formal confirmation from Iran regarding participation in the Islamabad peace talks. In a social media post, he said that Pakistan, as mediator, remains in constant contact with Iranian authorities and continues to push for dialogue and diplomacy. Tarar noted that the ceasefire is set to expire at 4:50 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on April 22nd, making Iran's decision on attending talks critical before the deadline. On the other hand, a key parliamentary committee in Iran has reportedly approved draft legislation to increase control over the Strait of Hormuz. The bill, endorsed by Iran's National Security Committee, would allow authorities to impose fees on ships for what it describes as security services and decide which countries' vessels can pass through the strait. It also proposes stricter limits on vessels linked to countries considered hostile. The legislation is expected to move forward in Parliament, though implementation details are still being worked out. Apple has named longtime hardware boss John Ternus as its next CEO, turning to another insider to steer the iPhone maker after Tim Cook as it navigates a world radically altered by artificial intelligence, a technology it has lagged on. Apple said in a statement that Cook, a supply chain genius who boosted Apple's market value by $3.6 trillion in his 15 years at the helm, will stay on as executive chairman when Ternus takes over on September 1st. Russia has captured around 1,700 square kilometers of Ukrainian territory this year, its top general Valery Gerasimov said, claiming advances toward key cities in the Donbas fortress belt. He said Russian forces are pushing near Sloviansk, Kramatorsk, and Kostiantynivka, while also advancing in Sumy and Kharkiv regions. Ukraine reported limited gains of its own and said it repelled multiple Russian attacks in recent days. The battlefield claims could not be independently verified, with pro-Ukrainian estimates suggesting smaller territorial gains by Russia so far this year. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.